My name is Joshua Tucker. I'm the lead testing engineer here. Today I want to tell you a little bit about the ASTM D5034, which is the standard test method for the breaking strength and elongation of textile fabrics by the grab method or the modified grab method. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the specimens and how they're supposed to be prepared, tell you about how the test goes down and what sort of calculations are used to get the properties necessary to give to our customers when they request this test to be completed. So let's get started. So this is one of the specimens that we received from a customer, and it's basically just a non-woven fabric here. Can't tell you exactly what it's about, but the general specifications for this test, this ASTM D5034, now there are different types of specimen geometries that you can create for this test depending upon whether you're going to do the grab method or the modified grab method. We're just doing the grab method here, so all you have to need is a specimen of this geometry, 4 inches by 6 inches. So what you're going to do is we want to grab this specimen in the very center. So the grips themselves have to be 1 inch wide by 1 to 2 inches long, tall. The modified grab method has that orientation or that geometry for the top grip, but the bottom grip is much larger, and you have to incorporate some rods and fold the material over the top of the rods. With the grab method, it's nothing. You just put the specimen into the grips. You have to line it up by putting a line 1 inch, 1.5 inches in to the specimen and drawing a line straight down. That way, the 1 inch grips are oriented directly in the center of the specimen, and then we just pull it. So there's a little bit to talk about as far as the method for this test, as far as how fast we're going to test it, and there are other things that go into play here as well, because you can test this specimen wet, you can test it environmentally conditioned, and as a matter of fact, we're about to test this right now in an elevated temperature environment. So we've got an oven over our Instron universal testing machine right now, and we're going to set this up, grip it up, and we're going to test it. So let's show you. Okay, so here we have our testing machine and our oven and our computer that shows all of our data outputs. So right now I have a specimen in here, that specimen that you just saw me with a moment ago, inside here, inside the grips, and we are heating up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. We have a temperature readout here, and we have a backup verification readout here for, this is a calibrated multi-logger thermometer. That way we can verify that this oven is reaching the temperature that we need. So the specimen goes in here, and it's gripped up, and it needs to be pretty tight. It's very difficult to get these specimens inside this oven while it's really hot, but we kind of worked out a plan of doing that. So as far as the testing speed, this specimen, according to the ASTM, you really want to break this specimen within 20 seconds. But if you have a whole ton of different samples that break at different times, you have to go with more of a generalized testing speed, and ASTM tells you to do about 12 inches per minute. So that's what we're running right now, because we are running a whole lot of samples. So we run this test at 12 inches per minute, and we just look for a max load and a strain, because we don't have a cross-sectional area, so we don't really have a stress involved here. It's just a max load and a change in length over the original length, giving us the strain. And that is it. You can see here some of the plots that we have just gotten from the data. We're getting max loads of around 20 pounds on these specimens. It really changes things around when you add in a lot of temperature. So that right there is that test. We'll go ahead and push the start button, and we'll show you how the test progresses. So I hope you enjoyed our presentation of the ASTM D5034, the standard test method for elongation and breaking strength of textile fabrics by the grab method. If you or your company has any desire to have this sort of testing done on their material or your product, please give us a call at 336-217-5185. Have a good one.